Okay, what is good? I'm starting this whole trading thing off brand new, right? Just because I'll actually explain. So I can actually go through this quite simply. If I go to, well, these are all my stats, so I can actually go through my P&L, right? I've been on this account so long. Look, I had such a good thing, and look, I only took this many trades, so this is this month. Obviously, it's not the worst loss in the world, right? We're almost near break even on the month. Possibly could pass it, but yeah. So last week wasn't the best week. Look, I had a good winner on Friday. I did do a video, but I'm not gonna go through it now. I'm just gonna start where we are now, so we can see we took a small loss today. I'll get into the trades I took. But yeah, not the worst month, but not a great month either in my trades. Look, I've not took that many trades, so I did have like a crash out day on Friday, but that helped me. Oh no, it was the Friday previous, and that saved my account, right? And then I'd lost the same amount. But yeah, I'm trying to be a bit more aggressive on the evals now. I'm only taking this small loss for today because it was a news Monday, but it was orange folder, so it was like it wasn't high impact. So I took the small loss on this and on my alpha account. So on my alpha account, I'll just go through the trade because look, we can see I took it here. So I ended up losing like 0.75%, which I did not intend to do at all. But it is what it is. So I'm gonna go through something else that I've been corrected on in the mentorship group I'm in, which I had no idea about, and I've never traded this way. So basically, I'll just go through my trade and I'll go through this kind of mistake that I never knew was a mistake. But let's get those ads off. So we had a sweep off the session open London lows. We already had an SNT on London lows prior to market open, right? On the London lows, we swept during pre-market. NQ made relative equals. However, I'll get into this, but from my perspective, this is what happened. So SMT became swept this. We had this nice inverse fair value gap, V-shaped recovery out. We were trading within a 4-hour fair value gap. So as you can see, look, the idea was right because obviously the bias was right in the end. Just, no news Monday. It's just is how it is, But basically, yeah, this was the first trade. We came up, and then my break-even point was at these market opening highs, and we got really close, but we just didn't manage. The only thing I didn't see was we made an SMT on ES on it. Now it was a 1 minute SMT, so it's not something I would necessarily worry about anyway, but it was still there. Maybe ES actually took out. No, there was no prominent high taken out. So even though it wasn't, I still should have looked out for it. And then we came back down, and then at first we started to come back up. So I actually got stopped out on my top step here because my stop loss was much like here, where on my alpha it was much lower for some reason. I didn't mean to do that, it just happened to be that way. On TradingView, I kind of had to pre-calculate it versus top step, where I kind of know just what to enter, and I can automatically adjust my stop loss from there. So yeah, right idea, right bias, just didn't work out because look, all my draws on liquidity were correct. We had this 15-minute fair value gap which overlapped with a 1 hour and a 30-minute, so it was so valid. And then we had the London high as well. London, actually no, this technically wasn't London high, it was here, which obviously we took out, but this is the Killzone high, which I'll get into, which I had no idea existed. I have heard of Killzones, but I never knew I needed them for my model, my system. But now I do. So yeah, essentially the London highs were, which we took out anyway, or at least my London highs. And then Killzone London highs were here, which we ended up coming taken out. And then Asia highs, part of the Killzone, which were just normal Asia highs, got taken out. And now we're on our way to New York PM high and New York AM high. So yeah, 1 to 6 risk reward. It's currently running a 1 to 4.5. This would have passed my alpha account as well had I not been manipulated further. Because the only other thing I could have done, I've had a look. I can either put my stop loss here because it's a no news Monday, which would have made sense, a bit more protective, or a re-entry, which I didn't do. I need to adjust for top step on this one. For top step, the only re-entry point I had was on this 30-second inverse here, which I wouldn't call prominent because I would have just wanted this gap to sweep. Now I could have done it. There was a retest of this tiny fair value gap with a reaction, so I could have easily have just done it based on that and just at the low again, which would have been a better entry than before. And then yeah, it still would have been a decent risk reward, but in the trade a long time, it's just chopped upwards essentially, at least on the 1 minute. Now yeah, it was a shame. I wasn't attached to the trade because I de-risked. Well, on alpha, I lost more than expected, but I don't mind being aggressive. I wanted, if I could have passed that today, I would have happily have done that. So I didn't mind in the end. But this top step, I de-risked because of the news, and I lost 0.5%, which is fine. I've got a second entry here, which was on my FTMO account, so I'll go over that in a minute. So after that, I looked for some shorts here, and then we had this. That was a 1 minute inverse. I'm on the 30-second chart, but that's a 1 minute inverse. That makes no sense. Oh, okay. I didn't take this. That's why it makes no sense. So we came up here. We were in this 1 hour fair value gap. I think we already closed above it though. Yeah, we did. But essentially, what happened was I didn't trade this. This ended up being a live test. So we came and displaced this fair value gap, and we displaced another one. There was a couple. So there was another one here. It was only very small, but it was there. So yeah, we displaced this too, which was really, really high confluence for me. We had a V-shaped recovery, and then yeah, I was basically gonna enter on this retest because it started coming back up straight away, as you can see. Like literally, as soon as it closed, it came straight back up. And then I was watching a live stream, and my mentor said it was like kind of perfect time. He was like, "Oh, just be patient, you know, if you're looking to trade." So I just took it as a sign, and I thought, okay, we'll live test this. Obviously, it lost, so I'm glad I didn't take that. Now, this next one, I didn't take this on top step or anything. I risked like 0.3% on my FTMO accounts because I like the setup. We took out Asia highs. We didn't get the V-shaped recovery, but we displaced this quite harshly, and then I entered here, and then we came off this breaker block and then reacted off of it, so I laid in some other entries. Like I said, it ended up amounting up to like 0.3, 0.4%. So yeah, we came off this breaker block, came down. I was really liking it. My first target was here. All this low resistance liquidity, all these orders built up, and then it keeps going further and further, but it was mainly these I was drawing to, and then this one being my last one, and then my stop loss was here, but that was just based on the inverse. I keep forgetting them. So yeah, this was just based on the inverse, so I just gave it some room, But even obviously above the breaker block, it would have been stopped. So yeah, I'm not too bothered. I think the thing to avoid going in future is probably just don't trade no news Mondays. Literally just leave them. I mean, if I go on my top step, because I've got the performance stats here. Let's see how successful Mondays are for me. Look, I mean, I've not even traded them. This is the first one I've traded in August. I haven't even traded one in July. Probably because there was no setup. Or I just didn't trade it because it was no news Monday. Or maybe I was in work as well. But I usually look at the charts and there was nothing to take. So yeah, I'm probably not going to trade. I mean, look, it's one day in the last 2 months where I've took a trade. So I think it's worth making that 0.5% mistake. And obviously 0.3, 0.4%. I know I've took it on Alpha Futures, but it's easily made back. I was looking at more plans because look, I'm on a 50k at the moment. I got it even cheaper than this. I'm literally, I don't even know if it tells me how much a reset is. No, it doesn't. Should we have a look? Okay, $79, bro. I will literally just buy a reset if I need to. Like, I'm gonna be super aggressive with this because I want to pass it, and I'm pretty sure these accounts, they don't trail the stop loss to balance, to the initial balance after your first payout. I think they let you have one payout first, and then they'll, like, the following payout is when they trail it, so because they want you to be able to, do you know what I mean? If I was, say, 2k in profit at like 52,000, I could then just cash out that 2k, which is really nice. So that's the idea. And I can pass this in as little as 1 day. I've already traded for 1 day, but there's no consistency rule, so I'm gonna trade these for now, and then eventually I'll go over to an advanced plan. Just because of the cost, really. Like, look, I know there's no I don't believe there's an activation fee, but it's still quite high cost, so I'd rather spend payout money on an account like that than I can just go aggressive and buy resets. But yeah, oh wait, oh no, that was a Tuesday. Oh, because this is July, that's why. But yeah, I'm not too bothered with today's loss. It doesn't affect me as much anymore. But yeah, this had good potential. The only thing I did ignore is that obviously the 1 hour's clearly flipped. We're gonna target this New York PM high and AM high. So realistically, I should have looked for longs. Yes, might have had some longs. Here, look, we had I mean, we inverse this 5-minute gap here. Have we only 15 okay, 15-minute gap. The only thing is the price action. Look at these candles, but to be fair, I need to go on top step really to see if the candle formation is better. So it was here, wasn't it? If I go on, yeah, it's not great, is it? Really? You have this here, but like, nah, it's not. I'm not even gonna mark that out, bro. Yeah, there's enough in here, bro. You could have done this 30-minute inverse, maybe, at the low there. First take profit at these highs. It's not worth it, is it? Would have got stops at break even anyway. But, yeah. So, and then I want to go through this. So, it was the Killzones. I didn't know this was, like, needed in my whole strategy. So, my London lows are apparently invalid. The kill zones between 7 a.m. and 10 p.m. for me. So if I look here, if I just mark out 7 a.m. I do have an indicator, but do you know what? I can use the indicator, can't So if we look here and the low, look, so that was the low. That was London's low, or the London Killzone low, and it obviously got swept way before that. Still during London session, but then this becomes less prominent because these kill zones are the more builds up of liquidity. Now look, if we look here, this is the London kill zone high, which we obviously came and grabbed, and we did react off it actually. Maybe I think that is where. That's where that's where my live test came from. That I was gonna short. So that just shows that we had the reaction off of it. But yeah, because there was no kill zone low, I went off this. That's what made me take that long. I probably wouldn't have taken it. But yeah, I think in future, no news Mondays we will avoid. 100%. Just avoid them totally. Unless it's high impact news. So for instance, okay, it's a bank holiday, never mind. Let's see if there's any. See, I'll probably avoid these days. It's not worth it when I'm looking for high probability setups, which happen during the week, during high impact news, red folder events. I think it's way more worth it just waiting, because look, if I just check the Tuesdays, there we go, straight away. And it's like, this is so much better to trade on. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do from now on. But there you go. Yeah, that's what we've got this week. So tomorrow looks good. Wednesday, fine. Thursday, fine. Friday, I don't think I'll be able to trade. But yeah, no, it looks good. So small losses today to learn from. It's nothing major. This was it was valid, but it was no news Monday. So yeah, it's just a shame we didn't. If we've grabbed these highs, I would have got stopped to break, even if it obviously came back down after grabbing those highs. But it's what it is. Can't win them all. So yeah, that's it. And then obviously this on my FTMO account. Again, nothing to be sad about. Just gotta keep going, and we'll get there eventually. And then I'll be able to start marking out all this correctly now with the kill zones, which I never knew I needed properly. So I could have been trading wrong this whole time, which could drastically change my win rate and entries and everything. So but anyway, that's it. I'll do a recap tomorrow.